she lives. Yes, so it's Saturday. Hello, Saturday again. And I did promise another live stream on Saturday, so here I am. Whether anybody joins me is another matter, but hello from the bottom of my stairs. Oh, I'll go to the foot of my stairs. That's what I'll do. I'm already here. So hello, everybody. All the millions of people watching me at this moment. One! Ha! I got one. Hello, nice to see you again. To see you, nice. So, what's been happening today? Lots of things. Nothing to do with me though. Earlier on, I tried phoning my mother. I said, hello Mum. She's like, oh, we're watching the royal wedding. Oh, is that today? I said. So, she asked me to phone her back in an hour. So, I let her get on with it. And I thought, probably should watch it so I know what's going on. So I turned it on just as she's been taken up the aisle by Charles. That's probably not the best way to put it. But yes, she was taken up the aisle by Charles, and then that was, yeah, so it was quite a nice wedding. Rachel from Suits. Hello, hello Terry. Rachel from Suits getting married to some bloke. That's nice. So yeah, that was a nice wedding. It was a good wedding. I enjoyed it. I especially liked it when they cut to Lewis from Suits. So he was in the audience and there were other people in the audience too. Oh, and there was one bit where they cut to Elton John looking like this. So that's my Elton John impression. Good, isn't it? Yeah. So he didn't look impressed by it. I think, yeah, it was quite good. There was a nice songs and they all giggled a lot, and I've got something in my eye. I've got something in my eye because I'm so tearful from the royal wedding. No, I've genuinely got something in my eye. It's gone all red. Yeah, I'm not like, the wedding, it was so beautiful. It's all right. Weddings go. I'm sure it was nice. The last wedding I went to was, I was a bridesmaid. No, I wasn't. No, I went to a friend's wedding. I did go to a friend's wedding in Coventry. I went to Coventry. But the last wedding I went to before that, I think I must have been a bridesmaid when I was about 3. So, have I been to any since then? I don't know. Maybe I did. Oh no, I did go to... I like been to like 4 weddings. I'm thinking 4 weddings and more than 1 funeral. That's what I've been to. So, yeah, that's not... So it must be the first wedding I went to. I was bridesmaid and I had flowers and I was like 4 or 3 or something like that. And I had a white dress with little flowers on it. So just exactly like her dress in that royal wedding thing. So yeah, so I did watch it, and moths are flying at me now, and that's my punishment for watching it. So that's all I've got to say about that. I didn't not watch it, but I wasn't really that bothered. Not really a royalist, but not a royalist. I don't care. You know, it's not that I don't care if they live or die, because I prefer it if people lived. I don't like it when people die. So I'd like everyone to live forever. That's really what I would like. I actually, when I was about 7, decided to do a magic spell to make everyone I know live forever, except for the people that were really old anyway, which is probably, you know, just my 7-year-old perspective. So what I got was like the inside of those felt tip pens, and I put it in, there was like, in my next door neighbour's garden, there was a sort of wheelbarrow full of rainwater. So I threw in the felt tip pen inside and did a magic incantation, which obviously bound to work. It's definitely going to work. So everybody I know, it's going to live forever except for the people that were old at the time. So far so good, but I don't think that's going to really, I think probably that's not going to last forever. So yeah, so this is me sitting on the stairs with 4 people and 1 like. That's good. Very, very impressive. Oh, other things that have happened in this week. I'm going to Edinburgh. I'm going to Edinburgh in August, only for a week, because I can only afford a week, but somebody very, very kindly offered to let me stay on their sofa, because I couldn't have gone up there otherwise. So I'm going to take a show. I'm going to do one show, which is a sort of theatre comedy show, and I'm going to do another show where I ask people to do guest spots, and that's going to be a sort of Welsh themed show. And that will be called... Somebody suggested it be called Here Be Dragons, but I'm open to suggestions. It doesn't have to really be named for another 2 weeks. As long as I get it named before the beginning of June, I'm golden with this. So if anybody's got any nice suggestions for what I should call my Welsh-themed guest show, I'm going to have guests, and they're mostly going to be Welsh, but they're not all going to be Welsh. If you can shoehorn anything Welsh into it, or Celtic, or just I like you, then you can probably be in it. So if anybody's got any ideas on what I should call that show, I'm open. Anyone? No? Well, everyone's bursting to tell me what they want. But yeah, so I've got that show, and I've got another one which is going to be a sort of theatre show, but it's going to be about really, I think angels, it's based on Angel really, but not, it's more based on my experience of being Angel online. Celtic show. I'm not sure, is that the name for Celtic show? It's nice. It's nice, but I think for a comedy show I need something more punchy. But Celtic show, yeah, is a Celtic show. So I don't know what I was going to be called, because my Welsh themed show that was just me was called Stealth Welsh, and everyone was like, oh, I don't know what that means. I'm like, well, I don't sound Welsh, but I am Welsh, so I'm under. So it was like teaching other people how to be Welsh, but not being Welsh. So people that aren't Welsh could be Welsh, because I sound like I'm not Welsh, and I am Welsh, and something like that anyway. Anyway, that was, I thought it was a good show, and I was packed out every night. It was easy to be packed out. It was daytime anyway. Packed out every single time, because there was no way that you could get more than 20 people in the room I was in. So it wasn't that hard to be full, really. Now I've got a slightly bigger venue this time, not massively bigger, so I'm going to have to do a little bit more work to get people in. But I've got guests. So you live there. Oh yeah. So see, you'd be, if you were doing comedy, you'd count. So if you live in Wales, or you've visited Wales, or you know somebody from Wales, or you're Irish or Scottish, or you've just seen a whale, you can probably be in it, really. That's really my only criterion, is something to do with, yeah. Abertillery! I know Abertillery. I know some people from Abertillery. You probably know them. Hi, Elise. Hi, Super. Hi, Elise. I don't know. I'm not saying hi to me. Hi, Super Palmer 87. Yes, Abertillery is just over the mountain from me. Not from where I am now, but from where my parents live now, is on one side of the mountain, and on the other side of the mountain is Abertillery. So it looks like it's really close. And I think they tried to change the boundaries ages ago, and somebody that had never visited it just looked at the map and went, oh look, that place is here and that place is there. They're very close, without realising there's a huge, massive, there's more than one mountain, there's several mountains. So it's instead of like, you know, it would be like, oh, it's just over there. It's like, up and over. So it was very Max Boycey, up and over thingy. If you know who Max Boyce is, you would get that reference, because I am from Pontypool. Hello, Georgina. Hello, everybody. Yes, Pontypool front row, which was very big when I was a kid. Very, very big. Oh, Kent, yeah. I've not been to Kent. Have I been to Kent? No, I have. I'm pretty sure I've done gigs in Kent. Yes, so, yeah. I'm from Pontypool. Pontypool is very famous for something called Japanware that hasn't been made for the last 150 years, but they're still very proud of it, which is basically a sort of lacquering work that's never seen Japan, never been near Japan, but it was when Japanese things were all the height, the rage, and so they thought they could do a sort of cheap version of the sort of lacquer work that you could see in Japan. So it was sort of like a sort of black tin plate thing with like pretty pictures of flowers and things on it, really. So that's Japanware. Look it up and you'll see what it looks like. And also there's a big park which has got a ski slope. I don't think it's well known for that, but it's got that. And Max Boyce singing a song about Pontypool front row, who are famous. Max Boyce isn't from Pontypool, but he did sing about Pontypool front row, so therefore he counts as being from Pontypool, but he's not. But yeah, he's not. But the Pontypool front row was part of the rugby team from Pontypool. The front row of the Welsh team was from Pontypool. I think that's what it was. I'm not sure really. we were very, very into it. Hello, the young adventurer. Yes, so we were really into rugby when I was a kid, but I don't really care about rugby. But it was, you know, it was something to do, wasn't it? You have to be proud of your hometown. I'm not actually, I was born there actually, but then I lived in somewhere called Cwmbran, which is famous for nothing. I think somebody from Big Brother was on it once. And then I went to Pontypool, which is slightly more famous, but not much. So that's that. And I haven't had a royal wedding. I'm sure it's lovely. And I wasn't invited. I don't know why. I'm sure my invitation must have got lost, really, because otherwise, you know, I'd have been in the front row, the front row of, not Pontypool, the front row of the wedding, definitely. They just forgot. They were just so busy, really. I did watch it, but you know, if you skip back, you'll see. I was just talking about all the stuff. I quite like the American bishop. He was like quite good, but he did go on a little bit. It was like, you know, it was like, oh, this is real. What a good speech. And then you're like, is he going to end? And then he said, I should stop now so that you can get married. And everyone was like, hee hee hee. And then another 20 minutes went by and he still didn't end it. But he, in the end, he did. Fire and love. Yes, I could have done. Yeah, I could have got married to that. What's his name? Harry. Prince Harry. I could have done. But, you know, I wish her the best. I like her more than, as I said, I like her more than I like him because, you know, everyone's like, oh, I didn't know her before she was getting married. And I was like, well, I did because I've watched Suits and I always thought that she was far too good for Mike. Mike should probably end up with Harvey, to be honest, but I think he's probably not. I think they're leaving at the end. See, that's the thing. They're both leaving at the end of the series or something because she's got married, but he's not. So he's lost his job because of the royal wedding, basically, the person playing Mike, which I would be very annoyed about if I was him, if I were him. I'm not. So I don't know. I haven't asked him, really, but it'd be like, yeah, I'd be annoyed. Hello, Michelle. I would be so annoyed if I was the person playing Mike. I don't know whether they're just going to end it now. Because the whole point of it was, in Suits, that he wasn't really a lawyer and they were pretending he was. And then it sort of drifted after that because then everyone found out he wasn't a lawyer and then it's like 5 or 6 seasons of and. So, you know, if you start with a premise that's quite, high concept, and then you get rid of that high concept premise, then where are you? It's like Sam and Diane in Cheers, if you're old enough to remember Cheers. Once they got together, you couldn't do anything with it. So she had to go because basically, what then? That was the point. And then it was just like several seasons of Kirstie Alley doing exactly the same thing. You can't sustain it. Moonlighting, that's another one if you're old enough to see that. But that's more... So, you know, but they got together with the person that they were having the chemistry with. And Mike never got together with the person that he had the chemistry with, which was Harvey. He got together with Rachel, who was lovely. But really, she was obviously destined to go and marry a prince. So really, what can you do about that? Not a lot, really. So, la. What have we done? Royal weddings, Edinburgh, Pontypool. Anybody got any questions for me on these subjects or any other subject you wish to see? Moths, again. I'm getting flown at by these blooming moths. Yeah, just ask me about the moths. So, yeah, it's later than it normally is for me here. So, usually I have a little look in the garden, but it's dark. See, so dark. So you can't see the garden. There's probably going to be a fox in the garden if I open it here. Look, you can't see the garden. That's how, yeah, so that was a sight to see, wasn't it? But my garden's looking awful. There's mosquitoes everywhere. Oh yeah, there was FA Cup. My dad saw that. Yeah, watch my future plans. I said I'm going to go to Edinburgh and then I'm going to make a fortune in my 1 week in Edinburgh. Everybody's going to give me like 5-star reviews and I'm going to make so much money and then I'll take it on tour and la. Not really. I don't know what my future plans are. I'm a little bit stuck at the moment. So I'm quite happy that I'm going to Edinburgh, but I don't really know what I'm doing after that. My big plans are to be a massive big YouTube star. Ha ha ha, that's going well. all 5 of you can attest to that. It's going so well. So I'm creeping up to the 240,000 minutes. I'm not quite there yet, but apparently there's a backlog. I looked it up. I've said this before. There's a backlog. So all the people that have reapplied for partnership and applied since are not going to be seen until the end of June. So if I ever become a partner again, it will be a miracle. I would like to do that, but it will be an absolute miracle if it ever happens, because you have to sustain the 240,000. And after making videos every day for a month and then not doing it every day, I can see the errors of my way. So if I make 67,000 videos in a day and then put them all up and everybody watches those over and over again, I can do it. Otherwise, probably not. So, sorry, moths everywhere. Just can't be... Oh, I'm just going to go around killing the moths. So my future plans are killing all the moths. A moth genesis. Genesis? Genocide. Genesis of the moth. That's a Doctor Who story if ever there were. Genesis of the moths. Yes, that would be a great 3-parter with the new Doctor Who. She can go around swatting them. Swatting them. I don't know whether she's going to call herself she, even though she's a she. Is she a she now? I don't know. Gender's a complicated thing, isn't it? Maybe she's not. Maybe she's a he still. Maybe there's another thing that the Doctor Who's going to be calling themselves. I don't know. Pronouns are a complicated issue at the best of times. So I don't know. Is anyone going to watch the Doctor Who? The new Doctor Who? Yeah, I don't think it's... Is it going to start in September? Or is it not coming until Christmas? Please tell me it's coming in September, because that's not very far away. That's just after I come back from Edinburgh. And I can wait that long. If it's not until Christmas, then that's a very long time indeed. And I would like to see Doctor Who before that, because you don't know what's going to happen, what with the world climate as it is, all terrible things happening in the world, that we might not even be here come Christmas. September, that's good. And also I heard that there's a giant big meteor going to hit us next week, so that'll be... Still September's still too late for that. Did you see that? A big meteor the size of a football pitch or something. They're always the size of a football pitch, aren't they? Or an Olympic-sized swimming pool. That's how big the meteor is. So if that hits us really soon, then we won't be able to... You haven't watched... Oh, you haven't watched Doctor Who. The Doctor Who that is now is not got wonky sets anymore. And it's more sort of up-to-date and hip and trendy and... hip and millennial and la-di-da-di-da. I don't know. So it's still the old series, but it's got new things in it. It's got less tinfoil and more underscore orchestral music. I think that's the main difference, is the underscored orchestral music. And it's had a series of doctors who have been more in touch with the younger audience, apart from Peter Capaldi, who's still amazing, but apparently a lot of the people that the audience were liking the younger Doctor Who's were like, oh no, he's old, but I think he won them over, and now it's going to be a woman. So that's it. Uses CGI, it does use CGI, but not massively CGI, so Doctor Who. So you watch it after Tennant, after David Tennant, or after drinking Tennant's, because if you're quite drunk watching it, that would be difficult. Now, I did like Matt Smith. I think I like Matt Smith a little bit more than I like David Tennant, if truth be known. But I like Peter Capaldi as well. I like Peter Capaldi. I've always liked Peter Capaldi since he was in, I think, Crow Road, which I only saw like one episode of, I think. So I don't know why I liked him that. But on Lair of the White Worm, he was good in Lair of the White Worm. That was good. With, who was in that as well? What's his name? Hugh Grant in that. Am I imagining that? I can't remember. Anyway, Peter Capaldi was in Lair of the White Worm, and it's Ken Russell film. Ken Russell was bonkers. Ken Russell's one of the better Kens. There are some awful Kens around. Some Kens that are film directors have said awful things in the last couple of months, and some Kens who were London mayors have said awful things in the last couple of years. So Ken not the best track record Kens. Kenneth Horne, he was good. And Kenneth Williams, he was good. So not all Kens. And also Kenneth Halliwell, who battered Joe Orton with a, I can't remember what he battered him with, but he drank a load of Nembutols in grapefruit juice, apparently, before hitting him on the back of the head and killing him. So Kenneths, they haven't really got a good record, really. Kenneths. What was I talking about? Kens? Oh yeah, Ken Russell. Ken Russell, he's one of the good Kens, as I was saying. Yeah, Ken. Yeah, I'm not Scottish, so that's probably wildly offensive to Scottish people, isn't it? And people who are Ken fans. So apologies to anyone called Ken, you're probably one of the good ones. Almost certainly. So what was the last question? I don't know. See, they disappear off the screen. They come and I was like, oh, I got to answer that. Oh, it's gone. And I can't see it because of the way that this screen is. I don't, and I'm looking, see, I'm not looking in the right direction either because I can't tell where the camera is. Is the camera there? Is the camera there? So it's a lot easier with an actual camera so that you can see what you're doing. I'm just going to look over here. Am I looking in the right direction here? I'm looking towards the wall and I can see moths on the wall. Ah! Moth Genesis, genocide. Genocide of the Genesis moths. Yes. So that's it. Do I watch the 90s movie of the Daleks? I did. Are you talking about the one with, oh, he's good. Yeah, the McGann brother, Paul McGann. I've actually interviewed Paul McGann about it. Ha ha! It's another claim to fame. I interviewed Paul McGann and I talked about, it was just before he was in Queen of the Damned. Probably not his finest hour. But I did like Queen of the Damned. It was terrible. But he was in it. And also I interviewed Colin Baker over the phone. So one of the Bakers, not necessarily the best. He's great. He is good. But I think most people would really put Tom slightly above, just slightly above Colin. Poor Colin Baker. He was a good doctor though. I did like him as a doctor, but probably not everyone's cups of tea. So I did see the movie. Quite like the movie. I think I've probably seen quite a lot of Doctor Who, and I've seen quite a lot of old Doctor Who too, from the olden days. But I think my favourite Doctor is Patrick Troughton. I didn't see any Patrick Troughton until fairly recently. I didn't really see any, what's Patrick Troughton, yeah? I really didn't see many John Pertwees until fairly recently. John Pertwee to me is Wurzel Gummidge. So to find out that he was actually Doctor Who is... I stopped doing interviews because I stopped working for the magazine where I got all the interviews, where I did the interviews. So I've done hundreds of interviews with lots of different people, mainly sci-fi type people, because the sort of magazine, the target audience was probably 54-year-old men that like sci-fi and probably don't actually watch that much TV and prefer to actually buy satellite equipment and don't care about TV anyway, but there's some TV stuff if they want to see that. But it was a satellite magazine, and although I was in charge of doing all the TV stuff, I don't think, because I remember we used to go to satellite, you know, sort of technical conventions and stuff, and I'd go there and man the stall, and people would go, why do you always write about TV programs? I don't like TV programs. And I'm like, it's about satellite TV. It's like, no, I just like collecting the satellites. So it was like, okay. I've spent ages interviewing people and writing all the listings and doing in the interviews. I don't know, was I good at interviews? There's some of my interviews on my website still. They're fairly basic really. But I did that for 6 years. I was working on local papers for a couple of years before that. So I've interviewed a lot of people. I think the last person that I interviewed for the magazine was Rory McGrath. He's not Rory McGrath. That's how it's spelled, Rory McGrath. And then I just quit it because I was like fed up, and I went to Edinburgh that very year. That was the first year I went to Edinburgh So and I was a bit desperate before that. I was like, oh, because I was asking all the celebrities, how did you become famous? How did you get into the business? How could I do that? So I was really sort of fame hungry, really, and I got a little bit resentful that I was interviewing the people rather than doing the stuff. But then ever since, I've not really got anywhere with doing the stuff. So probably I should have just stuck with being on the periphery and just accepted my lot. But no, I went to Edinburgh with a sketch show and got sacked in the first 3 days. So that went really well, because just about the same time, it was about the same time that I made Vestal Virgin, and I won an award for that. So I was like, oh, well, I'm on my way. I won an acting award for the very first film that I made, and I'm going to Edinburgh. So that went well. So that's why I stopped doing interviews, and maybe I should go back to doing that, but I'm not working at the magazine anymore, and the longer you are not doing something, the harder it is to get back to doing it. Really, I mean, the ideal situation is I'd have my own little chat show, and then people would pay me to chat to people. Yeah, but that's not going to happen, and I can see another moth on the wall. Can you see it? They're all over the place. Oh, evil things. See, and I'm just obsessed about moths now, so that's probably why I'm not getting anywhere. So, yeah, so it was a rod for my own back, just going into the show business, really, because you have to have more of a plan than I actually had, because winning the award does not necessarily give you the fame and the fortune to go with it. So that's my tip, youngsters, young people, get the money first, get the awards later. So yes, I should interview more people, that's true. So I was actually going to do some sort of chat show this year, but it never got around to it because I got ill at the beginning of the year with terrible flu for like 3 months, and I haven't really got back on track since then. But I was going to, with Chukwe, we were going to set up a thing where he's got like a place which is would be like a nice little place to do the little chat show, because he works in a sort of therapy, new agey place, and there's, you know, nice sofa and all stuff like that. So I was going to interview people, but I have to get the guest list and I have to get back into it, because I think then Chukwe felt ill because that flu was really doing everyone in, and then I went home for a month to visit my parents and see my new baby niece. And what happened then? Oh yeah, I got no money, so I can't go out. So that's what happened there. Yes, so I should probably do that. I haven't watched it. I don't know. You should watch it and see. It's very short. It's only 2 minutes long. Somebody said it's Vestal Virgin. It's quite arty. Somebody said that it looked like I was trying to do Blair Witch Project. I wasn't trying to do Blair Witch Project. It's just I used the infrared setting on my camera because I did it completely in the dark, and it was supposed to be in a greeny cave. And that's one of the lines in it. It's, you know, it's the phosphorescent walls. So it was a choice. That was my choice. So it wasn't supposed to look like the Blair Witch Project, even though I had the camera right up in my face. Have I made many more? I've made things. I've been in a horror film I've mentioned before called Exorcism, which is available on Amazon if you want to download it and have a laugh, because it's supposedly a horror film, but I haven't watched it myself. I'm sure it's great. But the thing is, I'm afraid to watch it. Not because it's scary, but because it's almost got nothing but 1-star reviews on Amazon. So I'm like, maybe I won't watch that. But I did get a review somewhere that said that I was hilarious, which is good, because I am supposedly... I'm playing an actress stroke stand-up comedian. I was saying it's really bad. No, I'm sure it's amazing. That it was supposed to be like it was before what's that, not Condor Man, what's that thing with Michael Keaton where it's you know, you can't see the cuts, it's invisible cuts. Well, before that it was supposedly like, it was like all one take, so we would do really long takes, and it was going to be cut together so as if it was all happening in real time. But I think that probably didn't happen. Birdman, that's it. I think that probably didn't happen because I have got the impression that it's all cut up and there's like little captions to tell you what happened next. So I think possibly that we were so terrible at doing no take acting. And Rope, that's another one. You know, Rope, where it looks like there's no actual cut. There are cuts, but you can't tell there are cuts. It looks like it's all happening in the moment. So that's how it was supposed to be. And that might not be how it turned out. But, you know, compromise. But I did get a review saying that I was very funny. I'm not sure that they thought that I was supposed to be funny, but I think I was hilarious. But maybe not for the right reasons. But yeah, that's it. But there's a lot of reviews also focusing on the young woman in it whose mother I play, because I play a delusional person that thinks she can play that teenager and ends up playing that teenager's mother. Yeah. Do something on urban legends. Yes, I will do something on urban legends. Do a reaction. Oh no, I don't want to actually have to watch it. I was like, I got it in the post and I was like, I don't want to see this. And I left it and I went to visit my parents and I left it with my flatmate and I said, it's probably going to be terrible. Don't tell me if it's terrible. And he watched it and he was like, yeah, it's terrible. It's like, don't tell me. I don't want to see it. I didn't even see the premiere because I was away in Edinburgh when they had the premiere. They had the premiere at the BAFTA building. So that was really impressive. But I didn't see it. But, you know, the fact that it got sold in Asda, I think is a plus. It was, you know, it's a film that got sold in a supermarket on the DVD thing. It's called Exorcism and it came out in 2014, I think. And you can get it on Amazon. You can probably rent it still or buy it for probably the same amount that you can rent it for. So it's one of the streamers. It's not on Prime. I just got a free trial for Prime, by the way. So if anybody's got anything that they want to recommend for me to see, because I'm going to have it for a month at least, because it's a trial. And apparently it used to be that you can cancel at any time in the month and still keep the benefits. But apparently you can't do that anymore. So I have to keep it for at least a month if I want to see anything with it. So let me know what I should see. Homecoming. Oh look, is it in Welsh or is it just Welsh? Yeah. So I could do that. I probably won't do that, the reaction movie. I don't know. What do I like watching? I like watching comedy and good drama and some stuff. And I don't like reality generally, but if it's a talent show, I'll probably stretch to watching it sometimes but I'd rather not. But, I mean, I do like watching RuPaul's Drag Race. So if you've got like a comedy drama that's about RuPaul's Drag Race, I'll probably watch that if you know where that is to be found. I don't think there is anything like that though. So I will watch anything that's quality. But there's only so much room. It's like The Sopranos. I never really got into that because there's only so much time in the world. Although I did watch Oz. And I didn't see the last series of Oz. And I like Arrested Development. There's another series of that coming, but that's on Netflix. That's not on Amazon. So I need something that's on Amazon. I don't know what's on. I did watch that thing that was about the right-wing politicians. I'm not a right-wing politician or a right-wing person, but that was, what was it called? Alpha House. That was quite good. I don't think there's more than 2 seasons of that. That was John Goodman in it. That was alright. And what else is there on Amazon? There must be something. Transparent, I watched that. And Tick, I've seen that. So I've already seen some of the stuff because I have had Amazon in the past. Lost, I have had Lost. Yeah, I like Lost. I stuck to Lost when even people were going, oh, it's getting confusing and terrible. I'd like, no, I like it to go on forever. I don't care if it makes no sense. And then when it got to the end, I was like, maybe I do care. I've invested a lot of hours in this. And now I'm feeling a little bit silly. Yeah, the same thing like the end of, was it Enterprise or Voyager? One of those things. And Enterprise possibly. one of them had a really terrible ending, and it made it like undercut the whole thing. Yeah, so if it ends badly, I probably don't want to see it. But I suppose if it's still ongoing, that's fine. You gave up on the second, yeah, exactly. Well, I used to have a live journal, and I used to follow one of the writers on live journal, and he sort of gave up after the first season, I think, because he said that they didn't actually have a proper storyline, and they just wanted it to go on forever, whereas he thought, oh no, they should have a definite, this is happening, and this is, and so I should have known at that point, if the writers are giving up because they think it's too confusing and stupid, maybe the audience should go along with that too. But I really liked it. I did like it. I kept watching it. I really kept watching it. And it was just towards the end. It's like Smallville. I really liked Smallville. Even when people had given up on Smallville, I kept on with Smallville. And the last season, I was just like, when Lex left, really, it was just like, I can't be bothered with Smallville anymore. But I stuck to it, even though people were going, no, I don't want to see it. So I will watch things even when they have gone on for a long time. But I prefer it if they are going somewhere, really. Yeah, so nobody's got any actual recommendations for me for Lost. Bad connection. So the season 2 for Lost is different to the later ones. It probably is. Yeah. I don't know. So I should probably go quite soon. I've been on this for a long time, haven't I? And this is probably all I'm going to get, 6 people, which is half my peak when I was... Half my peak. Got 12 whole people when I was doing them in April. Is everyone going out from May because it's all nice and hot and lovely? And it's like, or I've just not given enough notice? Or is it because I'm not doing any videos every day? Is that it? Did somebody see my cat? The cat that came on Thursday that I just, you know, because I think I said in one of these live things, it's Saturday night, yeah. That's probably true. People have got better things to do. That it's not Saturday night for everyone though, because a lot of people that want to see this are in Australia, which is first thing in the morning tomorrow, or America, which is in the middle of the day. So it's earlier for them. So it's probably right for them, but too late for everyone else. So, yeah, that's probably right. Peak is in the future. Yeah, I peak in the future. Thanks, Steve. Yeah, my peak is in the future. It's still to come. I've still got something to look forward to. It's not like Vestal Virgin was the best it's going to get. Because I won an award for that. I might have mentioned that. Yeah. So I should probably go. Thank you very much for joining me. And I'm probably going to have to deal with all these moths that are flying at me. And not watch Exorcism. Yeah. But it did get into Asda. So that's something. It was right next to Hansel and Gretel Vampire Hunters when I went to see it in Asda. Wasn't it alphabetically? It was just all the DVDs that nobody really wanted to see. Okay. I'll see you soon then. Bye-bye.